everyone, welcome back. As you can probably tell by the length of my hair and my short nails, this has been filmed during isolation. So I've just received my transfer, which is gorgeous. It's really nice, but I've never done a transfer before. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how that goes on. So for those of you that are joining me in part two, this is the first time I've done a transfer. I'm going to move the camera angle so you can see more what I'm doing, and I'm just going by what the instructions are telling me. So I've read the instructions, which I don't normally do, and we'll get cracking. I've put the transfer on the chest of drawers where I'd like it to be, and I've put it down with masking tape, and then apparently with this tool you just scrape it off. So here goes. So let's have a little look without trying to disturb. Oh wow! It's fab! Right, so what I think you do, where the drawer is, you just scrape on this anyway and it loosens it. And then when you lift the cellophane up, it's loose, so you can just place it down on the drawer. Let's have a little go. Right, so that's where the drawer is, where I'm just doing that. So if we lift this up gently, oh wow, it's really nice. Right, it's going on absolutely gorgeous. What I'm trying to show you is where I have two drawers where the transfer goes over. All I'm doing is I'm gently just cutting a little line like that where the drawers are, and then taking my little spatula knife and just pressing it down. Right, this is the first transfer on, and I have to say, it's looking gorgeous. So I'll get the next one in place. Right, I've just lined the next one up, you can see, with the masking tape. So it's all lined up ready, so I'll go ahead and do exactly the same procedure for the next one. As you can see, I'm down to the last transfer. I have been learning as I've gone along actually. Where you'll see the Stanley knife on the AIME, I'm not actually going to transfer that with the rest of the transfer. I'm going to transfer the outside, and then I'm going to move the transfer down so the AIME isn't just over the two drawers. So I'll do the outside of the last transfer, and then I'll move it so the AIME is a bit further down. As you can see, the outside's all done. So what I'm going to do now is put this back on. And before, it was over the two drawers like that, and it is really difficult to try and put the transfer over two drawers. So now I'll just move it in like that where I want it, and then it makes it much easier to transfer onto the furniture. The transfer's all on now, and it's looking absolutely gorgeous. So the next thing will be to seal it all on there now. We're finally ready to seal the transfer now. So I've just bought this. It's a spray varnish. So I have to spray that on the transfer to keep that all in place. So once I've done that, I will then wax the rest of the furniture, because I do prefer waxing. It gives it a better finish. So apparently I have read the instructions again, and instead of shaking up and down, I have to shake side to side for 2 minutes. So when I've done my shaking, I'll be back to start spraying. Right, 2 minutes later. God, it feels like I've had a workout. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just give it a little test spray on this to see what speed and how it looks before I start putting it on the furniture and then ruin it as soon as I do it. Oh, there's a catch on there. Alright, here goes. Oh yeah, that's quite easy. It's just a fine spray. I should be able to manage that. So we'll start spraying the transfer now. What I will say about this spray, it's very toxic. Even those few sprays I've just done, it's really toxic. So make sure that you've got, I'm in a workshop with the door open and the windows open. Make sure you're not indoors, make sure it's well ventilated because it is pretty strong stuff. So I'm going to just start off gently, just trying to spray just along here. And then I'll do what I did when I was painting. I'll just open the drawers slightly because it is varnish and it could possibly stick. And I don't want to ruin the transfer if it sticks. So that takes 30 minutes to dry, and then I'm going to give it another spray just to make sure it's sealed. I've given the transfer the second spray, and so that's all set now, and it does feel really nice, so that all feels nice and set. So the final bit is the waxing. Now I've got 3 pots of wax here. I've got a clear wax, which I'll do first. Now you have to wax chalk paint in order to seal it. If you don't wax it, it'll just flake off. So you must wax it to make it hard wearing. And then I've also got black wax and I've got brown wax, and that just gives it a bit of an aged look, but it's everybody's preference. I quite like using the dark and the black wax, but some people get a bit scared of it. I'll show you the best I can with the camera I've got how I use it. So what we'll start first with is the clear wax, just to give it a good coat, and then we'll then go on to the darker waxes to get the finishing touches. I wish I had a cameraman to help me, but here goes. So the top of the chest of drawers is going to be done by clear wax only. So I've got my lint-free cloth, I've got a sponge, and I've got my clear wax. So just lading up your sponge with clear wax. And then all you do is rub it on. I think you can see a little bit how it's changing slightly in the corner of that camera. And you will find now where the black came through, that's going to come up even brighter and give it a good old-fashioned shabby chic look. So once you've loaded some wax on like this, you can see on my camera where I've put the wax on. Take any surplus off with your lint-free cloth. Now normally when you've waxed something, it can take up to 3 weeks for it to cure completely. So don't think you've waxed it and you can start putting hot cups of coffee on the top, because it does take quite a while before it's actually hard. This is the black wax. I'm going to start with the black wax. Now when you're using dark wax, the whole point of dark wax is to make it look aged. So all you really need is on the corners, the edges, round the handles, where it's been wear and tear. So I've just got an old, obviously, sponge. So for example here, we'll put some on down here. Just a little bit like that. On that corner. And then take your lint-free cloth and just rub it in. And take off the surplus, or how dark you want it. Now that looks a little bit messy there, so I'll take my clear wax and I'll just get rid of the thick. So it just looks like that corner's a bit dark. Without looking too contrived. It's a long word, but know where that came from. So the black wax again, and I'll put it round the front now. And you could take a little bit of brown wax. Well, it's only because I've got all these. You obviously might not have all these waxes, and certainly don't buy them specially just for doing one thing. It's only because I've been doing it for quite a while now and I've got every colour of wax. And then just pop a little bit of brown in. Oh, bit of wax there. Where that's come from. Just get some clear wax and get rid of that dark blob that's just arrived from somewhere. And then again, tone it down with the clear wax sponge. So you've got a bit of dark and a bit of black in that corner. And it just adds to a bit of an edge. When I've finished doing all this, I'll pan it over the camera. But the rules are clear wax first, and then you can add your dark and you can rub off if you're not happy with it or you decide you don't like it. You can just rub it off with the clear wax. But you will find if you persevere and do a little bit at a time, it actually does finish it off. And you will see that when I show you it at the end. I'm just going to try and pan over the top so you can see where I've waxed. So you can see the top there. At the back it's a little bit brown just to try and give it a bit of an aged look. But I have predominantly gone with black wax because that's the colour I've got underneath. So I'll continue waxing, and when I get down to the second or third drawer, I'll show you the dark wax technique again. Okay, I've done the top two and I'm going to do the third one now. Now, I love using dark wax. I really think it gives it a bit of a feeling, but I know a lot of people are really scared by it. Well, I was myself. But it is really good fun because you can really see it aging in front of you. So this is the black, and all I'll do is go around the edges like this. Just literally around the edges. Up there and across the top. And then with your lint-free cloth, just rub it in the best, or rub off the surplus. And then I add a little bit of brown, just in little places. So maybe a little bit there, and a little bit there, and a bit there. Then rub that all in. And then get your clear wax. You shouldn't really be dipping a dark sponge into clear wax, so this is really at the end now. So if you have got some clear wax, filter it into another little dish because it will start contaminating it with dark wax. And then with the clear wax, just take off what you think's a bit much. I'm just to take a bit off there, just a little bit down there. I don't want it looking too obvious. Leave that corner. I'll take a bit off there, a bit too much on there. And then get your cloth, rub it all in. And there you have it. So I'll continue down the next three now then. Before I move the camera, I'm just going to explain to you how I position all the new holes, because obviously I've filled all the original ones in. Because I hate measuring, I can't bear anything that has to be too exact. I always make little templates out. So I measure once and then use the templates. So I put the templates on there like that. I'll show you better when I'm actually doing it. And then I mark where the red line is, drill a hole, done. So I've got my drill, and I'm not a DIYer, so I never know what size drill bit to use. So I always try and use a smaller one, because I'd rather have the hole too small than too big, because if it's too big it'll just rattle round. So I'll start off with a small one, and then if it's not big enough, I've got another one I can make it bigger with. So that's how I do it. So I'll try and position the camera now so you can actually see me doing it. Okay then, so here's my little right template. So I place that on there and mark with my pencil there. And then I get my little bradawl. My dad told me all these. I'm afraid my dad is my teacher. And if he's showing me, I know it must be right. Drill. Hold it upright. I'm going to have to consult my dad because it hasn't gone right through. I'll get back to you. Right, I've just spoke to my dad, and what he told me to do, he told me not to put the drill bit right in. So I've put it in on the edge. And I've also changed it because I did realise the hole wasn't going to be big enough. So we'll give it another go. Ah, I knew my dad would know. Brilliant. Right, so I'll just try putting the handle in. Oh my God, it fits perfect. So it's a little drop handle one, like that. And then I've got the two little washers, or whatever they are. I'm just going to put them on the back. And that's the first handle in position. I'll carry on now putting all the rest of the handles on. And then it's finished. I've had lots of fun doing this, and I've really enjoyed every minute of doing it. I hope you've enjoyed it, that's the main thing. I hope you've learned something from it. And if I get enough likes, I'll do another one. So all that I'll do now is I'll photograph it so you can see how it's ended up. Bye.